So, I'll introduce myself. My name is Scotty Beeland. I am the chair of the outreach working group with the SNAC Cooperative. Um, I work at UMD. My degrees, I have an MLIS from the University of Maryland. I work in the Division of Research, though, so a bit of an alternative career. And I work in an overload capacity on all this fun snack stuff that we'll be talking to you about today. So the outreach arm of SNAC, social networks and archival context, operations underwent significant revitalization and expansion between mid 2025 and early 2026, evolving from a group facing challenges like a jargon-filled website and like a limited outreach plan into a structured, interactive, multi-channel operation. So growth of the outreach arm, organizational reactivation. We had our kickoff meeting in June 2025 to address some stalled executive function within the group itself, the reasonable impact on operations because of the stall, and reasonable actionable items to tackle. So with funding from IMLS and the Mellon Foundation, we were able to kind of re-energize efforts. And by July 2025, we had created a formal outreach plan and brand kit. And that's what we've been using since then to kind of get things going. That's how you heard about this event. That's how you're hearing about Snack School and all that fun stuff. So we're pretty happy with that. And we do that every 6 months. We kind of plan out for what we're going to do and how we're going to tackle things. So we initial growth kind of focused on standardizing Snack's visual identity, including the creation of a brand kit, which I just mentioned, and approved logos and typography. The group also completed a major website overhaul in late 2025, reducing the portal from over 30 pages to 5 key pages, and simplifying language for better accessibility, as well as other technical accessibility concerns. Spreadsheets and lists were also generated to assist in targeted communications about events and general news. Linking to and prioritizing cultural technical growth. So, with the Mellon Foundation funding, a priority was centered on cultural technical growth. So, some programming and outreach efforts were focused specifically on the Indigenized Snack Project, and a shift of promoting technical programs such as our joint effort OpenRefine workshop series with UMD's Center for Archival Futures, closer engagement with our technical leaders, and better inclusion of technical improvements made in Snack. Involvement with both the Indigenous Description Group and the Enslaved Description Group have also led to more refinement of data sets, controlled vocabularies, and overall editorial standards for the SNAC platform, with hopeful plans to include a new group for Latin American, Caribbean, Latinx, and Iberian people. Social media expansion. So, our social media presence was launched across Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube in September 2025. This included bite-sized video content or snack breaks created from other long-form content and other planned posts and campaigns to promote an educational mission and public engagement. By December 2025, these platforms showed positive engagement trends, particularly through campaigns during Native American Heritage Month and our current Archives 101 reels, which have seen hundreds of views each. So I took some screenshots of some of those analytics the other day. Our engagement views are way up. We're getting views from non-followers. So we're kind of expanding our reach into folks who may or may not have heard about us. So I'd like to thank Jill Higgs, who is our dedicated social media person, who has made all of this possible as well. And then event success and training. So our event saw dozens of snack editors, new snack editors, researchers, reference providers, scholars, and growth is trending for our spring 2026 event so far. Snack School became a priority or a primary vehicle for growth with high attendance at sessions like research and reference and create and edit events. And events in the fall averaged about 15 attendees each, with larger attendance for joint events like our Open Refine series and the Indigenous Editathon, held as an unconference event at the start of the ASIST annual meeting in November 2025. That event saw a total of 25 attendees, most of whom actually attended in person at the Folger Shakespeare Library in DC, demonstrating SNAC's ability to host large-scale, impactful gatherings. So plans for the future, that's kind of like where we've been. So now let's talk more about where we're going. So speaking of large-scale, impactful gatherings, we're proud to have nearly 200 registrations for this event. There are 87 participants in the room with us today, with representation from Europe, Asia, the Caribbean, Canada, and Australia, and of course, from across the United States. Strategic partnerships, refined content, and expanded engagement can clearly drive growth and interest, and we hope this momentum continues into the future. So strategic partnerships, we're going to focus a little bit more on building deeper relationships with organizations such as the Oral History Association and the Society of American Archivists, and regional groups like MARAC, New England Archivists, Southwest Archivists, so on and so forth. Mellon Funding will also promote partnerships with tribal nations and cultural heritage centers and groups, and this includes various ideas such as securing information tables at national conferences and collaborating on workshops with special interest groups. Digital and content strategy ideas. So we'll be putting out an indigenized snack video. That's a priority for as soon as possible. I just need to make some edits and that'll be available for everybody to view soon. And then we've also been thinking about gamifying some of our kind of snack functionality, introducing monthly leaderboards, providing shout outs for editors who create or edit the most records, things of that nature. We'll need some like technical updates to make this really feasible. So, we hope to forge even stronger relationships with our tech team to make that possible. And of course, we have one thing I didn't include in the slides was about our newsletter. We're planning on launching a quarterly kind of polished newsletter format to send to editors and members to maintain consistent communication. And of course, we have our blog, the news and announcements page on our website as well. And then the last little bit is technical and accessibility refinement. So ongoing future work includes addressing a list of web accessibility tasks, such as fixing color contrast, adding detailed alt text for flowcharts, and ensuring proper heading levels across the portal. The team also plans a summit in mid-2026 for our new hires to align technical and administrative goals. And we also have added a technical workshop to be offered for each of our SNAC school semesters. This semester's offering will demo an actual upload of data into SNAC after it's been prepared in OpenRefine as a follow-up from our fall OpenRefine series last fall. And Maristella also has a fun demonstration for us at the end of the meeting today using archive space. So in closing, today's event serves a cornerstone for future planning. We've got working groups, special projects, and training opportunities are coming in the near future. And we will invite all of you at the end to come snack with us. So on the screen now, you can scan for our link tree. There's our website. And then, of course, for YouTube and Instagram, our handle is @SNAC Cooperative. So, please like and follow us. We'll be updating those frequently so you can kind of keep up with us in multiple different ways. And that concludes my bit for the outreach working group. And I think I'm passing it to, I will pass it to Ugoma then.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Ugoma Smoke. I'm a metadata specialist for the Indigenized Star Project at the University of Maryland, and I currently serve as the chair of the Editorial Standards and Policy Working Group since July of 2025. I've been a part of the SNAC team since August of 2023, and today I'll be sharing an overview of the group's work and some of our current initiatives. The Editorial Standards Working Group, often called ESWG, is responsible for developing and maintaining the editorial policies that guide how records are created and edited in the SNAC Cooperative. These policies help ensure that the information in SNAC is consistent, reliable, and clearly documented. Because SNAC is a collaborative platform where many institutions contribute records, shared editorial standards are essential for maintaining quality and coherence across the entire system. So I'd also like to take a moment to recognize the current and former members of the Editorial Standards and Policy Working Group, whose collaboration and expertise continue to shape and support SNAC's editorial standards and policies. So I'm listing myself. I'm the chair, and the current members also include Jody Berkowitz, Megan Brett, Ia Bull, Rachel Hugh, Diana Marsh, Rebecca Morgan, Jerry Simmons, and Ginger Yao. Former members include Tiffany Chavez, Chris Tangway, who was the former co-chair in 2025, and Bess Coop, who was the former chair from 2020 to 2025. So the ESWG operates within the larger governance structure of the SNAC Cooperative. It works closely with other groups and committees, particularly the Operations Committee, to review and refine editorial policies. When the ESWG develops recommendations or updates the standards, these proposals move through a new process before formally being adopted and implemented across the platform. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the collaboration within the ESWG, which also supports specialized groups that focus on particular areas of description within SNAC. Two of these groups are the Indigenous Description Group and the Enslaved Description Group, which works closely within the SNAC or the Editorial Standards Working Group to develop guidance and improve descriptive practices in these areas. With the Indigenous Description Group, it focuses on improving how Indigenous people, communities, and entities are represented in SNAC. Their work includes developing and revising editorial guidance and contributing to discussions around terminology, place names, languages, and other descriptive practices related to Indigenous communities. For the Enslaved Description Group, focuses on improving how enslaved individuals and communities are described in SNAC records. Their work includes developing editorial guidance and proposing relationship types and addressing ethical challenges related to describing enslaved people and their relationship within historical records. Together, these groups contribute to expanding SNAC's editorial policies and control vocabularies, helping the cooperative develop more inclusive and thoughtful approaches to archival description. So now we will talk about guiding SNAC records, which focuses on developing and maintaining the standards that guide how SNAC records are created and edited. So one of the group's primary responsibilities is developing editorial policies. So these policies provide guidance on how SNAC records should be written, edited, and structured so that contributors follow a shared set of practices. The group also works to maintain editorial standards across the platform. This helps ensure that descriptions are consistent from one record to another, even when they are created by different editors or institutions. So another important focus is ensuring reliable descriptions. The working group encourages the use of evidence and citations so that the information included in SNAC records can be supported by trustworthy sources. Finally, the group manages control vocabulary. This helps standardize the terms used in records, making it easy for users to search, understand, and connect information across the SNAC network. Okay. And now another key responsibility of the group is establishing consistent terms used throughout SNAC records. This includes terms for occupations, relationships, subjects, and place names. By standardizing these terms, the groups help make sure that contributors are using the same language when describing records. These standards are important because they support the consistent descriptions of CPF entities, meaning corporate bodies, persons, and families. When the same terms and structures are used across records, it becomes much easier for users to search, understand, and connect information throughout the SNAC platform. And so I'm going to show just an overview of the editorial policies. And our group has developed a number of policies that guide how records are created, edited, and described within SNAC. So currently there are several policies covering a wide range of topics, including subject headings, citation practices, name preferences, record ownership, and guidance for describing different types of entities. Some examples include policies on assigning fast subject headings, formatting citations and SNAC records, creating and editing corporate bio descriptions, and guidance for respectful and responsible editing practices. All of these policies are currently available within the SNAC Cooperative, where editors and contributors can easily access them as reference when working on records. Together, these policies help support consistent, reliable, and thoughtful description across the SNAC platform. So for currently, we're working on the process of reviewing SNAC editorial policies. This effort began after Betts Coop, our previous chair, noted that many of the policies were due for review or potential revision. The first stage of this process will be the policy review, which we're currently in. So during this stage, the ESWG members review the policies together during co-working sessions. The goal is to identify areas that may need clarification, possible revisions, or to confirm when policies are still clear and working well as written. This work is being tracked in the 2025 to 2026 ESWG policy review running document. The next stage that we'll move into is the policy edit. So in this stage, members will begin making proposed edits directly in a shared policy document. These edits are made collaboratively so everyone can contribute feedback and suggestions. All revisions are documented to ensure transparency and to keep track of what changes have been proposed and discussed. Once the group reaches agreement, the edits are accepted and incorporated into the policy. So next, I will talk about future project plans. So looking ahead, once the policy edit stage is complete, the working group will move into the next phase, which is policy feedback and approval. During this stage, policy updates related to the description group are first shared with chairs for feedback. This allows leadership to review the proposed changes and provide input before they move forward. After that, the recommendations are submitted to the SNAC Operations Committee for further review and discussion. Any feedback from the chairs or the Operation Committee is then incorporated into the finalized revisions. The final stage of the process is apply policies. So once the revisions are approved, the updated policies will be implemented on the SNAC Cooperative website and documentation. Publishing these updates ensure that editors across the cooperative have access to the most current guidance and help support consistent editorial practices throughout SNAC. So if you're interested in learning more or getting involved in the Editorial Standards and Policy Working Group, we meet on second Friday of each month at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And everyone is welcome to join virtually through Zoom. And so now I will pass things to Maristella.
So the first order of business for us was returning the working group's regular activity. And since last fall, we've had 4 monthly meetings with a fifth one in the works for this month on the technical infrastructure working group. We've had several meetings to address immediate issues, both internally and for the public-facing SNAC Cooperative site. And we're also looking forward to prioritizing and planning, as you've seen in Scotty and Ugoma's presentations. So the most immediately noticeable development, if you've used the site in recent months and in the past few weeks, is that Robbie Hott has come up with a solution for the issues related to site responsiveness that we've had stemming from bot activity. And similar to what you see when you visit the Library of Congress site and other libraries and archives, you'll notice that the SNAC Cooperative site now verifies that you're not a bot. Another issue we addressed was assessing the condition of the help ticket system, the contact form, and making sure that infrastructure was working as expected. And so, as you've probably already seen through the presentations today, many projects have overlapping involvement with several working groups. The NABS data set presented multiple issues with broader application and impact for other SNAC projects. And those include the use of the SNAC OpenRefine plugin and language and script codes. We also noted some oddities in how geographical data displays in this project, and we're in the process of implementing ISO 6393 for language and script codes. And the benefit here is an expanded set of options to select from that includes more code values for indigenous languages using native spelling of language names as a base for the codes. So as we'll discuss shortly, in addition to bringing important representation of tribal communities to SNAC, it has also offered a great use case for OpenRefine, both for parsing and normalizing data and for the efficient ingest of a considerable number of new records into SNAC. So aside from those issues, the working group has been able to start planning for the medium and longer term and setting priorities to keep enhancing SNAC's usability, lower barriers to participation, and increase its usage, both among editors and on the public site. So these priorities include features related to variant name searching and controlled concepts, encouraging wider use of our archive space plugin, which we'll be talking about shortly, updating documentation and lesson content, and of course, the never-ending task of deduplication and data cleaning. So there's plenty to keep us busy for the foreseeable future, and it's exciting to be moving forward with this momentum and sense of possibility. And we'll definitely look forward to having even more to report at the next State of the Cooperative meeting.
So there's one question for the Editorial Standards Working Group, and actually probably a Jerry slash tech question also. Is there any consideration being given to removing family entities from the platform? They tend to be non-unique and very hard to deduplicate. Just try browsing on something like Johnson Family.
I know that's something that we're definitely going to cover in our next stage because we're actively reviewing policies to especially address topics just like that. But Jerry, you might be able to elaborate more.
It's a very interesting idea, and I look forward to discussing it further in the editorial standards working group. I've not had anyone approach me about it specifically, but I do understand the interesting aspects of family names. So something to think about. And I can't see who the question came from, but everyone who asks a question, I'm going to kindly answer it and then say, if you want to work with us on this, please let us know.